Hello and welcome to CEAZOR's Snack Sandwich. Today we're going to be taking a look at Gains. Now Gains is a network. Right now it's mostly a leverage trading platform on Polygon. Now there are some other features in the roadmap or in the future vision of this protocol or this team, but right now it's mostly a leverage trading platform. Now, if you come to the website here called gains.io, you'll see that there's staking, bridges, statistics, documentation, and down here you'll say open gTrade and staking pools. So let's first talk about staking pools, and then we'll talk about gTrade, and then I'm going to get into a flowchart and show you all about what makes gTrade special and what makes everything in this system kind of unique. Okay, so here are the staking pools. So if you press staking at the top here, or if you press staking here, then you'll end up here and you can see there are just two options. Okay, there's the LP farm, the GNS DAI LP farm, which I've decided to provide a little bit, not too much, maybe like $1,000 or something. So you can, supply to this LP and get some APY. I'm getting about 43%, which is not fantastic, but I'll explain to you why I think I'm still kind of bullish on this in a second. Or you can supply DAI to their trading vault, which is basically just straight DAI in and DAI out sometimes. Okay, so here is the APYs based on like the 7-day history, right? So if you put DAI in the vault, you're going to get 12% straight, like basically DAI in, DAI out. Quite low risk in this sense. And then, there is the LP is like a 69% total, but I'm at 49% because I don't have a boost. And then this is also, based on APYs, and this is APR, right? So that's why there's this difference as well. Like this is APR and this is APY. And then there's this inflation rate of the GNS token. The GNS token is deflationary. So I'm going to, at this point, it's deflationary. So I'm going to explain to you when I go into the flowchart how this GNS token is deflationary as well. So you'll get to better understanding of this. So that's pretty much it. I've supplied a little bit to here just to see how things go. And I didn't put any into this trading vault just because, I just didn't want to. Okay, so over to the gTrade or the leverage platform. It looks like your basic, almost centralized exchange type system. It's quite good. The feeds are quite fast. Everything's quick. It's zippy, and you can just easily come here, leverage up, or add your collateral, how much collateral you want to do, how much leveraging up you want to do, and so forth. And then you basically the only thing you need to make a trade on any of these pairs is DAI. So you just need to come to this platform, connect your wallet, have some DAI inside the wallet, and then you can trade any of these crypto pairs or any of these Forex pairs with that leverage that I mentioned and that I will talk about later. But it's 1,000, and you can go long or short. It's quite cool. And stop losses and take profit. And one of the things that make the stop losses really good on this is that they're guaranteed, even if there's some sort of delay with the blockchain. And the blockchain itself cannot execute because of congestion or something. Your stop loss and your take profits will execute at the price that you set it, which is quite special. So let's go into the flowchart and talk a little bit about how does this work and how does this GNS token come into play with this leveraged market here. Okay, so here we have Boosted Bill. Boosted Bill has some DAI. He wants to do some leverage trading. He's heard that short-term speculation is the way to get rich, and he wants to boost it, but he doesn't want to go through KYC. He doesn't want to dox his wallet to the man, so to speak, but he wants to get in on some of this leverage trading. Okay, so he brings some DAI and he's going to interact with, let's say, the BTC USD pair. He wants to trade this pair and so forth. Okay, so the first step he's going to do is he's going to execute the trade on the platform. But what happens behind the scene is his DAI goes into a vault. Okay, and then he will, during that same execution, he will also select the leverage he wants, as I mentioned before, 1,150x on cryptos and 1,000x on Forex trading pairs. Okay, now here's Dollar Bill. Dollar Bill has decided to supply DAI to the vault in order to just get some trading fees. Like I said at the start, remember I showed you the 15% or 18% or whatever it was at, right? So he can take part in this way as a passive DAI user and supply Boosted Bill with some of the leverage. Because, if he puts in $100 and he wants like $1,000 worth of trading power, he needs to get that extra $900 from somewhere. So it's going to come from this guy here, okay? Okay, so now let's say that Boosted Bill has put in a trade that's too big for what Dollar Bill has supplied in collateral. So there's not enough collateral in here to cover his trade there, right? So it needs some more collateral. So how is the protocol going to get this extra DAI to cover this position? And it comes through this system with the GNS token. So what it's going to do is it's going to mint some GNS token, and it's going to swap the GNS token for DAI and put that DAI into the vault, right? So when you're looking at the chart for the GNS DAI tokens, you'll see some pretty big candles. And that's basically from like single individual big positions being opened or closed, right? Straight up, straight down candles, right? So that's basically what it's doing. Regardless of the pair, no matter what pair is over here, it doesn't matter. They just need this one really big, deep liquidity pool of GNS DAI in order for all of those pairs to function, okay? Because it doesn't actually send any DAI in here and trade versus these dollars, right? So now, then he's going to, initiate the trade, right? So he's going to send the trade in there, and then say he wants a long or short. He's going to do a market or a limit order, and he's going to set his stop or his take profits, right? Now, this whole program, this whole policy, this whole idea of this is based on the idea that more people lose than win. Like trading is a difficult thing on the short term, right? So short-term trading is like most people lose, right? That's the idea, and that's what research has showed. So that's what this protocol is kind of betting on, and that's what Dollar Bill here is betting on mostly, is that most people are going to lose, and he's going to be able to get his DAI back in the end, right? So let's say Boosted Bill here, he has made his trade and he took a loss, right? Like if he took a win, then the collateral is here because it was minted and it was put in there, right? But now let's say he takes a loss, like he closes the trade, he hits his stop loss, or he goes down and gets liquidated, or what have you, right? So now there's going to be more DAI in here that needs to be, right? There's going to be his DAI because he lost, and then any of the DAI that was like maybe minted and put in here before. So there's an excess DAI. So then this excess DAI is going to be taken out and sent, and they're going to buy the DAI. They're going to use the DAI to buy the GNS token and then burn it. And that's why you saw that deflationary number up there, is because more people have been losing than winning, and there's been a lot more burning than there has been minting and selling. Okay, so that's basically how the trading platforms works, but there are some other key features in here that make it special. Okay, so number one is like it's using Chainlink Oracle feeds in a special way, because a Chainlink Oracle feed is great, and but it's not to the second. It doesn't keep track of everything every second, and this is a leverage trading platform that needs like every second to be right on par, right? And it also is allowing you to trade the actual price of Bitcoin, whereas most other derivative platforms or most other leverage platforms, you're trading the price of a derivative. So it's not the actual Bitcoin price, it's a price of something that is supposed to stay pegged to the real price. And they do it through many different ways, usually through a funding rate, and they usually incentivize people to either long or short it so that when it's above or below peg, right? However, here it's actually just using Chainlink in a clever way to make sure that the price is on par with the normal price, right? Or the actual Bitcoin price. So they have a Chainlink feed that comes into their thing, right? Into their contract that tells the trading platform, what is the value? What is the spot price of Bitcoin, right? However, this Chainlink thing is not second. It's not a constant tick. So they've asked Chainlink, or they've set up these other nodes with Chainlink. And what they will do is anytime there's an execution of an order, then it will ask Chainlink for the price. And it has a tolerance of 1.5%. If the price on this Chainlink, this request, right, from these 8 nodes, they have 8 nodes, by the way, and these 8 nodes take from 7 APIs, take the medium to each node, and then the medium of those 8 nodes, it will tell them, right? Now, if the price of this from this section is off of this section by 1.5, then it's going to ask again. And it's going to make sure that these two add up and that they're concise and that they have the same price. And then it's going to execute the trade. And it happens, within seconds. And that's why they're doing this on Polygon, because on Ethereum, that would be quite costly. It's quite costly to set up these trades, okay? So that's how they're using this Chainlink thing. And it's quite interesting because they guarantee, like, there's no synthetic price, there's no LP of, like a special Bitcoin versus the normal Bitcoin or anything like that going on. It's just all DAI inside the vault, looking at the price based on these Chainlink Oracle setup here. Now, this is kind of hard to understanding. You can read through. There's a nice Medium article that explains it. And maybe if you still don't understand what I'm talking about, then you can look deeper into that. Okay, they call it the DON, D-O-N. Now, the other thing that they have is they have these NFTs. They have these 5 standards of NFTs: bronze, silver, gold, platinum, and diamond. And what these things do, they give 3 major features. So number 1, they boost rewards to people who supply to this liquidity pool, like I did. I said my thing is not maxed out because I don't have any of these things, right? And they reduce the spread on the price, right? Like if you long or short, there's going to be a spread, right? So the long price is going to be different than the short price by a small spread. And if you hold one of these NFTs, then you get a tighter spread, right? And then the last thing is if you need one of these NFTs to run a liquidation bot or a bot to, execute the limit orders and so forth, because nothing can be done. The state of the blockchain can never be changed automatically. It needs someone, or in this case, something to execute it and pay gas. Basically, you need to pay gas. So they incentivize these people throughout this system. I'm not going to get into that because there's all kinds of places where they incentivize it, but mostly through the fees, okay? Now, there are trading fees, of course, and I will show you a picture of them right here. And as you can see, they're pretty competitive. They're not crazy high. So, but you do have to take into account that there are some trading fees and so forth. And that pretty much covers it. I think it's pretty interesting. I really like that there's like a lot of burning, like basically burning this GNS token quite a bit. So it's deflationary now. Maybe in the future, if everybody just keeps getting it right, it will become inflationary. But the way it is right now, it's quite deflationary. So I'm kind of bullish on this token. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen, right? You never know with the markets, but I think this is a pretty good design, and I like this protocol quite a bit. Now, I don't trade. I've in the past I've traded before, and it's just not for me. I got wrecked so bad trying to call price patterns and all kinds of like indicators and stuff like that. So I don't do it myself, but I know it's very popular and a lot of people like to do this. And maybe if you like to do this, then you can check this out. Okay. So thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.